Hi, I'm Matt. I'm one of the pastors at First Baptist Church. And we know that during this time of quarantine, coronavirus craziness, a lot of people have felt discouraged and worried by all the bad news that's out there. But I wanted to share some stories from church members, just like you guys, members of our church at First Baptist Farmington, and ways in which God has actually used this time to grow and encourage them, and even ways that they've used this time to reach out to others in ways that they hadn't before. So I hope you enjoy as we look at these different stories of grace.
My name's Jason Montefusco. I've been at the church since 2006, long time. I grew up in the church and started following Christ maybe 3 years ago, something like that. Yeah, so it's a crazy time for everyone. I've had tons of friends that just straight up lost their job or been laid off. And it's just strange to have all these people usually at work literally just sitting at home every day. So I guess some of the challenges for me have been with me being engaged to a Canadian. We had initially kind of hoped we could get married, late June, early July kind of time, thinking that she could just kind of come down and get married and apply for a green card once she is married. And we found out kind of New Year's time that that's not really the case. You have to actually apply for a visa, which is like 5 to 7 months usually time frame. And so we were bummed when we found that out because it was going to delay it quite a bit. We were looking more like August at that point. And I remember how huge that felt to me at the time, where I was like thinking it was the end of the world to have to wait another month or so to start the next chapter of my life with her and stuff, and feeling really impatient. And that's been the constant struggle for the past several months, even before the virus hit. And then come the time the virus hit, the borders closed down straight up right in the first few weeks of it. So it's been 8 weeks now since I've been able to go up and see her.
Oh, man.
And then on top of that, the actual processing of the visa gets delayed because, a lot of the things in that process involve people being close together and face-to-face interviews, stuff like that. So it's basically just being delayed for the time that the world's on shutdown. So emailing back and forth with the lawyer and stuff, finding that is kind of getting extended with each day that goes by further and further. And it's kind of, a testament to your plans not always being what God's plans are for you. And I found it super, super easy to, get frustrated with that. And it's very tempting to sometimes question why God's doing what he's doing. And it sets you off on a lot of really, bad thought processes like that. So one thing I've been doing, listening to podcasts, sermons about that kind of topic, about delighting in Christ. And when you really look into it, that's there's just a lot of comfort there, knowing that you had your own plan and you were going to make it happen. But now, instead of it being in your own hands, it's actually in the hands of the sovereign God of the universe, who loves you, is watching out for you, and is working this out for your good, even if you don't know it in the short term. And, when you really truly believe that from the bottom of your heart, you kind of think there's no better hands for it to be in. And it's really easy to, really delight in knowing that God's the one who's in control of all this. When you're going crazy worrying about things, it's just awesome that we have a God who literally knows exactly what's doing for our good, even though we don't see it in the short term. And I find any time I've been stupid and kind of wander off, trying to trust in my own plan, trying to just make things happen my way. It's honestly a lack of faith on my side, and a lack of submission to Christ, and it's been something that's really been challenging me lately. Is it's just amazing to see the comfort that there actually is when you open up and submit to Christ, knowing that regardless of what it seems like in the short term, He is absolutely in control, and the only one I'd want to trust, honestly, with all the stuff that I'm going through. So we did our little beginning of the week sales meeting early on when the virus started, me, my dad, and my brother. And we were all sitting in the room there where we'd usually have kind of divvying up the workload and figuring out who's going to do what. And we're sitting there, and because of the virus, everything was canceled. I mean, we were just kind of sitting there. We watched a few YouTube videos on the computer, and we're like, there's got to be a better way to spend our time. So my dad actually sat up, and he's like, well, what if we actually volunteer ourselves to church, see if anyone in the church needs something through this time where maybe a lot of the people can't leave their house. So we've been doing grocery runs for people. Also, as far as reaching out to people goes, it's tough because we're all kind of trapped at home. Mm-hmm. But we've been reaching out over FaceTime in our small groups, as well as a lot of my friends, we're still allowed to go out to parks and, enjoy fellowship there as we're keeping the social distance and stuff. So with the extra free time, it's been really good, reaching out to people who are also going through tough times, with the whole world just changing lately. And it's awesome to have that spare time. It's awesome to be there for other people as they're going through tough times. And it honestly helps me out a ton. Also to, it really makes you appreciate the time and fellowship you have with your friends, because it's an easy thing to take for granted when it's not limited like it is now. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Jason. It's been really good talking with you, and I'm excited to share your story with the church, and thanks again. Well, I hope you guys were encouraged by that story. I know my heart was encouraged as well. And I hope also that it gave you some ideas on ways that you could be reaching out, maybe in ways that you haven't before. If you have a story you'd like to share, please contact me. If you know someone who has a good story that you think needs to be shared, please contact me as well. We'd love to keep these stories coming. So have a blessed day, and until then, I'll see you for the next Stories of Grace.